Coming up on OU Nightly, live Super Tuesday updates before the results roll in. Plus, OU's Gaylord College looks for a new dean, what the first candidate says he has to offer. And wildfires still spreading in the state and beyond, how Oklahomans are lending a hand. This is OU Nightly. Thanks, Brooke. Well, coming up, you could have a new furry friend soon. How a gentle giant could make you smile up next.
And a new rule brings changes to late fees on credit cards. See why the Biden administration plans to challenge it after this.
Coming up, 2 Oklahoma colleges are teaming up to battle the statewide teacher shortage.
Find out how you can get involved with the new program after the break.
And severe weather is in the forecast. We'll time that out for you coming up.
Now, one Sooner squad is heating up both on and off the court.
This team is counting up both wins and honors. OU Nightly's Kaylee Jo Hummel has it all in sports. Thank you, Kaylee Jo. Still to come, March Madness is right around the corner.
That's right, and one fast food chain is offering a deal to basketball fans across the country. We'll tell you the details up next.
Coming up on OU Nightly, we're tracking cold front. It's on the move. It arrives by tomorrow morning. I'll time it out.
Governor Stitt makes it official. The grocery tax is gone. Find out when you'll be saving money. Plus, how the OU dentist students are making kids smile. This is OU Nightly. Up on OU Nightly, Valentine's Day may be more expensive this year. What you need to know before tomorrow. Plus, Norman elections are happening right now, the issues that you will vote on. And former President Donald Trump is set to attend court again, what prosecutors are saying. This is OU Nightly.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and if you don't have a date, well, you could have a dog. Pet of the Week is coming up next.
And Oklahomans continue to remember country superstar Toby Keith. More on his legacy when OU Nightly returns.
As interest grows in AI, so does the need for more oversight.
You may be surprised when you hear who's speaking out on the issue. Coming up.
Hey Oklahoma, it's a perfect night to walk the dog. Plus, we're tracking rain chances for this weekend. My full forecast will detail it all out right after this.
NFL Combine is just around the corner, and a few Sooners have made the invite list.
OU Nightly's Kaylee Jo Hummel has who made the list and who didn't when we come back.
And on deck on the court, face-offs against the same Big 12 foe. How OU men's and women's basketball continue their tournament hunt up next in sports.
Thanks, Kaylee. Up next, a horse who loves to rock has gone viral.
Catch his dance moves when we come back.
Coming up on OU Nightly, the Muslim community on campus rallies for Palestine, their message to fellow students. Plus, a new candidate in the bid for House Speaker, the latest from Capitol Hill. And Killers of the Flower Moon finally hits theaters, the OU connection. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Victoria Anderson.
And I'm Noah Mack. We begin tonight with breaking news on American hostage being held in Israel. Israeli Defense Forces say these 2 Americans, Judith Rahan and her 17-year-old daughter Natalie, are no longer in custody of the terrorist group Hamas. The women from Illinois are now with Israeli security forces. Their family rabbi says it does not sound like the women are in good condition, but more will be known as they can be seen by doctors. As the attacks continue, we know Egypt is sending humanitarian help into Gaza, where more than 2 million residents are in desperate need of assistance.
While war rages on in the Middle East, Muslims right here on campus and around Norman are feeling the impacts, especially emotionally. OU Nightly Stone Weber is live on campus. Stone, you talked to some of the students when they gathered last night.
The Muslim Student Association held a meeting last night here at Wagner Hall, not to discuss Israel or Hamas, but the state of Palestine.
You know, I almost canceled this program today because 4 of my family members were butchered. If you see me a little emotional, this issue is very personal to me.
Imam Ahmad and Chassi shares with the OU community exactly how the war hits home right here on campus.
Occupation, there's ethnic cleansing, there's a terror, and there's apartheid. I think occupation is a human issue. Ethnic cleansing is a human issue. Collective is a human issue. Apartheid is a human issue. Collective punishment is a human issue. That's how we need to describe and explain what is happening in Palestine.
One OU student who asked us not to use his name due to the threat of hate crimes in this country says change can begin with just one person.
We have to start the message from somewhere. Right now, if it's, let's say it's 100 people, if we can teach five people new information, they can go out, spread it to their families, spread it to their friends, who might start doing research. They might have different majors. They might be journalism majors. They might start doing research on it. And they're like, okay, now I gotta go up and I need to talk about this and I need to make sure it's rightly talked about.
And members of the Muslim community say that change starts with young Americans, even those in college right now.
You have the platforms. Okay, you have the platform, you have a community at your college to speak about this, right? Don't feel like you don't have anything that you can do to benefit the people of Palestine, because you do. Okay, not only do you have a platform, it doesn't matter if you have 100 followers or 1,000 followers, you still have a platform of people.
The Muslim Student Association will continue to host events throughout the month if you'd like to learn more. Reporting live from Wagner Hall, Stone Weber, OU Nightly.
Thanks for that coverage, Stone. Aid to Israel from the United States is held up until the U.S. House can elect a speaker. And today we know it's back to the drawing board after another failed vote. OU Nightly is the only collegiate newscast with a student reporter filing daily reports from the Capitol. Kevin Palomino has more from our Washington bureau.
It's a rainy day here on Capitol Hill, especially for Representative Jim Jordan, who is no longer the nominee for Speaker from the Republican Party. He lost it today during a secret ballot that was held behind closed doors. However, while Jim Jordan is out, Representative Kevin Hern from Oklahoma says he's all in. He spoke with Gaylord News shortly after that meeting, and he tells us that he is going to run for that seat. We asked him how he was going to do that, especially because there's those 217 floor votes that Jim Jordan was not able to gather throughout the week. Even after 3 rounds of voting, this is what he had to say.
You've got to sit down and talk to everybody. You've got to bring a different perspective. I'm not going to come with the perspective of being a career politician, because that's what I'm not. I've spent a lifetime leading people.
There's an intended floor vote scheduled for Tuesday. However, it all really just depends how that candidate forum plans out. Reporting for Gaylord News from Washington, D.C., I'm Kevin Palomino.
Until the House elects a speaker, the legislative branch of the U.S. government is paralyzed.
And hot debates in Washington and hot weather here in Norman.
Very surprising for this time of year. OU Nightly meteorologist Peyton Gallion joins us live with a first look at the forecast. Peyton?
Well, Noah, you're right. These are above average temperatures for this time of year. I mean, 88 here in Norman. We have 90s all across the state. It is definitely not feeling like fall. Looking at our fall foliage map, we have a little bit of changing leaves across the state. Nothing like we are seeing in other parts of the country. But coming up in Maine weather, I'm going to talk about how Hurricane Norma is impacting us in Norman. The rain chance returns to your forecast in your game day forecast for tomorrow.
Thanks, Peyton. An American soldier who crossed into North Korea this year faces hefty charges. Ireland Fitzer has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center.
The U.S. Army private who fled to North Korea in July has been charged with desertion. The U.S. Army charged Travis King with 8 counts, including desertion and other crimes. Authorities say King was returned to the U.S. last month after he went to North Korea, quote, willfully and without authorization. According to CNN, King was detained in Texas Wednesday, awaiting pretrial detention. And a third co-defendant in the Georgia 2020 election subversion case involving Donald Trump pleads guilty. As part of the deal, Kenneth Chesebro agreed to testify at future trials in the case. In return, the 7 charges against him for filing false documents were reduced to 1. Chesebro also has to write an apology letter to the citizens of Georgia. And as of today, a New York judge has fined Trump $5,000 for violating a gag order that was supposed to keep him from disparaging court staff amid a civil fraud trial. Noah, Victoria.
Thanks, Ireland. And as we head into the weekend, big changes are coming to OU's annual homecoming. We'll tell you what's new and different for celebrations tonight and tomorrow coming up.
And Killers of the Flower Moon hits theaters today. The movie was filmed right here in Oklahoma. We talked to OU students involved in the film when OU Nightly continues.